with us or online? We have the presentation. Is this recorded presentation with Fatima on it, or? Okay, Mateo says, hold on 2 minutes. We are holding on.
Don't worry, I'm going to continue with your profile. Is that okay?
Sure.
I saw Fatima. She will be back, I trust. Logging in with her profile. Very well. We are waiting for Fatima Al-Hashem to log in with her own profile. She was apparently present in Florence in flesh and blood at the conference. Yes, her microphone is on.
Welcome. Can I share the welcome?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
And if you want to turn on the light.
I'm okay.
Okay.
Okay. Hello.
Oh, hello, Fatima. Can you say something to see if we can hear you well?
Do you hear me?
Yes, we can. Very well. So you are in situ, you are in Florence, actually.
I made it.
Oh, well done, well done.
Yeah.
Okay, Fatima, since we lost a minute or two, I will leave for the audience to read your biography, which is online on the conference website. And I will just say that Dr. Fatima Al-Hashem is from the Gulf University for Science and Technology in Kuwait. And the title of her presentation is Required E-learning Competencies Among Supervisors in the State of Kuwait. The screen is all yours, Fatima.
Thank you. So basically, when the pandemic started, I just pressed. Okay. Wait. It's in Italian.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You need to help me.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Oh,
Am I?
what do you want to do?
I just want to change from one.
Full screen?
Yes.
Okay.
No, not full screen actually. I want to change the slides.
Okay, so here
Okay.
you can press.
All right. Is the camera still on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, the camera. No, the camera is
it's
not.
off. All right.
If you want to make full screen, you can
No,
press.
that's fine. I just want to press 6. All right.
Could you please show us the full screen because it's difficult to see. It's very small.
Oh my God.
Presentation
All right.
mode,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Thank you
yes,
very much.
yes, sure.
Much better. Thank you.
All right. So basically, when we switched to the response of COVID-19 pandemic, the government of Kuwait suspended all schools, meaning all schools from KG, nurseries until university, for at least 2 weeks prior any decision whether we want to go remotely or physical attendance, and it did not resume until the mid of June for public sector and mid of or early April for private sector. So they have, while because it was a sudden shift, the Ministry of Kuwait with a lot of NGOs decided to complete a video recording for elementary till secondary level in specialized subject, and have they were in front of a big challenge, which is training teachers, and the trainers themselves in such context where our system is highly centralized. We have top to down, so the supervisors are the focal point for training all teachers, especially in public school. So and also creating awareness campaign for parents and all of that. So there was a big challenge in front of the supervisors. And if we go and explore more about the role of supervisors, they have to wear too many hats. They are involved in curriculum writing. They are involved in writing national assessments for all different subjects. And we have also, their role is to monitor the performance of the teachers and also train them. So to do all of that when the lockdown started and we had a full curfew and during end of or mid of April until the end of May. So it was like very, very hard to move and proceed forward in terms of education plans. So supervisors also provide the vision, the development for the employees in all levels of school. If we look at the method, me and my colleagues, we were also concerned about the situation in Kuwait and how the supervisors will do that training. So we have looked into the competencies that are required for shifting to online and using technology in learning. So the factors that we have focused on is the computer literacy, competencies, computer skills, equity of planning and educational situation, electronically, educational program and design. We've also looked at the competencies related to teaching and learning process because it's totally different from the traditional methods. We looked into the assessment and evaluation and competency related to professional development. Are they able to transfer the knowledge to teachers? And the competency related to social, ethical, legal, and humanitarian issues, because we were at a level where there was double challenges when it comes to children with learning difficulties and children with special needs. So all of these things. So we've created a survey, and then we have also communicated with the supervisors and asked them during the lockdown via Zoom and Microsoft Teams in focus group to understand what are the challenges and what they were facing. And supervisors were, had different results in terms of the quantitative. We did the independent sample t-test, and it was significant difference between male and female in level of positivity. since, and just to acknowledge all the audience, our public education sector is segregated by gender at all levels. So from elementary till high school, it is segregated by gender. So male teachers teach male students and vice versa. So this shows the variation in, the differences between male and female. Male students, they tend to be more positive than female when it comes to using or applying the competencies. Also, in terms of the educational stage, we did the one-way analysis variance because we wanted to see among all the groups. And there was a significant difference between the education stages, and it showed that the primary stage was an average, while the intermediate and secondary stage had more positive towards knowing the knowledge and the practices of applying learning education via technology. In terms of the major, we've noticed that, there was a significant difference between the math and science. The science were more positive than the math. And I will elaborate more about this part shortly. And for the nationality, just also to acknowledge the audience, we have, Kuwaiti citizens who are in charge of, the supervisory, but once we are a shortage in any area, we open the vacancies for other Arab nationalities to come and, be part in the education system. So now there was a significant difference between Kuwaitis and non-Kuwaitis, and also non-Kuwaitis were more positive. Usually they are following the rules and they are, up to date when it comes to applying all the regulations that comes from top to down in terms of the ministerial decrees. In terms of the level of technology expertise, the significant difference between the level of technology, it had a weak mean. And it was also between the math, especially, and science, there was a big gap. And if I move to the last slide, it shows that in the focus group, when we asked the supervisors, literacy, science, and math, the science subject, the context of science had technology as an element of doing all the experiments prior COVID-19, while the math and the literacy, they were not integrating science, technology into their, curricula or trying to apply it, so they were stuck. And even the math, which is, one-to-one and writing equations, they did the chalk and talk, which is like writing everything on the whiteboard and interacting with students based on textbook and writing things instead of doing things digitally. And they've expressed their concerns that they are not up to date as supervisors, so they had triple the challenges when it came to training teachers on things that they were not assured of, and they were not competent enough to transfer the knowledge. So as a discussion and conclusion, there is no doubt that they took effort to develop the role of supervisors. And it is very important in a centralized context, such as the Kuwaiti system. Those supervisors cannot, be experts in the field unless if they have enough knowledge. Besides, they cannot wear that too many hats. In the beginning, I've explained the role of supervisors is like they are involved in things that they're not supposed to do it. For example, they monitor teachers and still they evaluate them. They train them and they evaluate them. You cannot ask the same person who trained me to evaluate me. It has to be a separate entities. So, or in the hierarchy of the Ministry of Education, we need to rethink about the role of supervisors in Kuwait. The reality of education supervision in Kuwait is it has an old dated or old hierarchy model, and now after the pandemic a lot of schools, and one of them is my paper, to rethink about the function of the ministry and how the bureaucratic processes could affect fast move and affects also the education and widen the gap. These things were not applicable in the private schools, especially in Kuwait. We have three types of private schools: American-based schools, British curriculum-based schools, and also we have the bilingual, which is they have the same equivalency of American or British versus Arabic amount of, let's say, credits in terms of literacy. Those schools, as a private sector, did not have issues teaching or training their teachers because they have an affiliation outside Kuwait who's considered to train teachers. In such big hierarchy model with 6 school districts and almost 450,000 children attending schools, public schools in Kuwait, we need to rethink about the role of the supervisors in our system. And this is a story that probably, I don't know if it's gonna apply in your education system, but in any system, the model goes with the regulations at the ministry. The more we understand it, the better the application will happen in schools. Thank you.
Very well. Thank you, Fatima. My camera